Hi, welcome to Big Micah and thanks for joining me for today's video on the exciting topic of developing a success routine. And this video is following last week's video that we started on setting goals. And I ended last week's video with the quote that I want to start this week's video with as well, and it was simply, lucky breaks come by chance, success comes by choice. So that's where developing a success routine comes in, because that's how you're going to make that change, and that's how you're going to make that move from not only a chance but a choice where you are choosing what you're going to do. Developing a success routine is all about developing healthy and good habits. And I read in this behavioral psychology article that up to 40% of what we do is done by our subconscious minds in an autopilot kind of way where it's just done subconsciously, up to 40% of what we do. And then it also went on to say somewhere that up to 90% of the way we do it is also done in that subconscious autopilot kind of way. So the fact that such a large proportion of what we do in our daily lives, from brushing our teeth, from the route we take to go to work, from getting changed, and everything else that we do, from food and eating, is all autopilot done by our subconscious mind, makes us think that if the habits are not good, then the results are not going to be good as well. And it kind of makes you think about the importance of having these autopilot habits of what we do and how we do it, good ones, so that we can get good results. This brings me to my next point, which is all about you have to prepare for what you want. This to me is the most significant aspect of a daily routine, a success routine, and having these successful habits. You have to prepare for what you want. And the way I look at it is, everything that we want in our lives, can we honestly say that we're ready to get it? You might be asking for a lot, and I might be asking for a lot, and there might be so much that we want to do. But we need to ask ourselves the question, like, are we ready to step into that and do that if it came up right now? So if tomorrow the opportunity came knocking on the door, could we honestly say that we are ready to step in and do it and accept it? And there's a quote somewhere that says that if you want more, you have to be more. So to be more and to have more, you've got to become more. So are we ready to kind of take on everything that we want to get? Are we ready to accept that? And that's something that really stuck with me when I came across that point, because I thought to myself, I have asked for a lot, there's a lot I want to do, and can I honestly say that if tomorrow morning that opportunity came to me, would I be able to confidently accept that? And at least for me, I kind of came to the conclusion that actually I'm not ready. I'm asking for a lot, but I'm not ready, which is a good thing as well, because that then gives you that admission that, okay, this is where I'm at, this is what I need to do, and this is what I need to get. That's like, if it does come, I'm ready to do it. It might be whether it, like for an audition, or if you want to go see a casting director, or if you want to have that agent, or even non-acting related things, for example, if you want to take on that new job or that new responsibility, or if you want to do that new sport, if you want to have a career change, whatever activity, new thing it is that you want to do, can you honestly answer that if that came to you tomorrow morning, you're ready, you've got the skills, you're equipped, you've got the confidence, you're ready to step in and do that? If the answer is yes, fantastic, that's great, because most likely there'll be something else on the horizon soon enough that you'll be like, hey, you know what, I want to do that, am I ready to do that? No, self-improvement. If the answer to that is no, that kind of leaves us to where we are right now, and that is, hey, this is where we get to developing our success routine, those successful habits that we can then do so that we are prepared and ready to do it, so that things happen by chance and things happen by luck, then we're also ready to meet it 75-80% of the way, because we're ready to step into everything that we want. And I think that's the most important thing that we need to kind of get from the get-go is, am I ready? If not, let's develop those successful routines. So the thing to consider is that we are where we are right now based on the habits and the routines that we've had in the past. And if you decide what it is that you want to do crystal clearly, am I ready for it, am I not? That thing that you want will determine what your success routine is going to be, because the success routine is different for everybody depending on what it is that you want to do. And obviously we don't all want to do the same things, we don't always want to do the same kind of things either, even if they're similar. So our routines, our habits will all be different from other people. So even if other people are doing something and you kind of feel like, oh, I should be doing that, you don't necessarily have to be, because your sort of goal is different as well. So whatever you do decide to do will determine what your particular success routine is going to be and what you need to develop. And the way we can do that, the great thing is we have a choice. We can change what that routine is, and we can do that right now by creating those good habits. And even if we start by, for example, doing 3 or 4 good habits or changing good habits, incorporating new habits into our daily routine, even that will help so much. Just 3 or 4 things of that will get you closer to what it is that you want to do. If it means, for example, you don't already go to the gym but you want to start going to the gym, even going to the gym, you know what, 30 minutes for 3 days a week, or 30 minutes for 4 days a week, and that's one thing. Or even if it be reading, read a book, whether it be an acting book or a self sort of improvement book or a leadership book or a success book. Read a book 30 minutes every day or 20 minutes every day. Start small and incorporate that as a daily habit. Even if it be eating right, try incorporating eating good healthy food on a daily basis, and also limiting and reducing your intake of other things that aren't as good. So it's kind of replacing bad habits with good ones, but even just like I said, pick 3 or 4. And if it's for acting as well, there are different things that you can do as well to keep yourself on that level, doing a monologue a week, not necessarily learning the whole monologue like fresh, but even going through a monologue each week, or reading a screenplay each week, or researching different characters and reading their biographies and going through their books and researching them, and just doing something like that each week. And the good thing is, hey, it can be watching movies, or watching a list of films that you know, one of your favorite actors, get a list of their films and watch them as well, once every week or once every couple of days, or depending on how your schedule is. But just habits like that that will get you closer, get you thinking, get you moving to where you want to be. So it's really important that we do that. Once we have an idea of these kind of things that we want to do, these habits that we want to form, the important thing is to do those on a regular basis. Habits are formed through repetition, and at the same time you've got to do them consistently, and you've got to do them usually at the same time each day. Helps a lot. So if it be reading 30 minutes in the morning before you go to work, or if it be reading 30 minutes on your commute to work, or if it be going to the gym every day after work at a certain time, or whatever the habit is, if you do it at the same time, that kind of helps form the habit, and then you have to kind of repeat it and do it consistently. And I read somewhere, I mean, we've all heard of 21 days. But I also read recently that the 21 days rule is kind of inaccurate, where it doesn't take 21 days to form a habit. That's just the minimum that's required. They say most likely, some behavioral psychologist article said most likely it's actually about 66 days, so 2 months. But at the same time, if what we're doing is not developing habits and developing things just to get a certain goal, like I'm not trying to get a beach body, or I'm not trying to eat healthy to lose weight for the summer. If what we're doing is for our goals, for our dreams, for everything that we want to achieve, it has to be about developing a lifestyle. So this thing is about developing a successful routine, successful habits, not just for 2 months, 3 months, or for the summer. It's for a lifestyle. And in that sense, it doesn't really matter the 21 days or the 66 days, because it's all about doing consistently as a lifestyle choice, as a lifestyle habit. And the great thing is, they also say, is it's not an all or nothing kind of thing. 21 days, or you do it for 66, and if you miss a day or miss a 2, then you're starting right from the beginning. It's not an all or nothing kind of thing. You can keep going and you do it all the time, and if you miss a day or 2 and you fall, that's okay too. That doesn't break that habit from forming. You have to start all over again. You just kind of keep going where you're going. So what I'd recommend is preparing right now what your habits are going to be, and when you're going to do them, and how you're going to do them. A lot of the time we kind of put off routines because we don't know. Pick that book to read and have it already set in your bag, or in whatever, when you're going to your daily commute. Or if you're wanting to go to the gym, have your gym clothes ready the next day, and have that ready so that you know when you come back from work, everything's ready for you to go to the gym. It's already packed and ready. For your food as well, if you're trying to incorporate healthy eating, have that already prepared in advance. Maybe it's a Sunday that you prepare for the rest of the week, or just certain things that you are. Clear out your closet, your cupboards of all the junk food that you might have, and maybe replace it with healthy stuff, that instead of, you know, grabbing that unhealthy thing, you now grab that piece of food. So just prepare for all these things so that it's easy for you to incorporate these habits into your daily life. And the great thing is, once you do this, once you do through habits and repetition, it will help so much. Even for myself, as I said, going back to that important question that I asked myself, am I ready to get everything that I want to do? I answered no. That's why I started developing these successful habits that I feel that are going to get me closer to where I want to go. And now they are getting easier, and I don't do it because I want to do it for a month. I do it all the time. And again, for me, for acting anyway, it's submitting myself for auditions on a regular basis during the week. It's getting my things ready so I'm ready for auditions. Always keep myself ready with monologues, and ready with cold reading as well. Like, are you ready to do cold reading if you were called for it tomorrow? And there are things that you can read to practice for cold reading. So there are loads of things that you can do, and even me, I've incorporated into my life, into my daily habits, so that every day, every week, I feel I'm getting closer, so that if something comes along, I'm not at a loss like, oh, I need a monologue, I need one now. I've already got one. Now, one thing I really want to share based on this, if you're not already motivated enough or anything like that, is I saw this article on entrepreneur.com, and I think they have the Entrepreneur magazine as well, and the article was on the habits of the world's wealthiest people, and it's based in 2014 when it was done, and it has a couple of statistics which I think are really interesting and definitely motivated me as well when I saw them as well and heard of them. And I want to share some of the most important ones with you, and it's based on the healthy, successful, world's wealthiest people, the habits they have, and it kind of compared it with, it said wealthy and poor. I don't really like the word poor because it's the less well off, or the less, maybe not where you're right where you want to be. So, but the way they did it was wealthy and poor. I'll stick with that. So, for example, daily habits, waking up 3 hours before work, that was 44% of the wealthy and 3% of the poor. Maintaining a to-do list, 81% of the wealthy and 9% of the poor. Another statistic, listening to audiobooks during their daily commute, 63% of the wealthy and 5% of the poor. And then you've got reading 30 minutes or less each day, that was 88% of the wealthy and 2% of the poor. And even exercising at least 4 days a week, a bit of aerobic exercise, 78% of the wealthy and 23% of the poor. And I also want to go, it went into some goals as well. How many write down their goals? 67% of the wealthy, 17% of the poor. How many believe in lifelong learning and self-improvement? 86% of the wealthy and 5% of the poor. And then another one, how many believe good habits create opportunities? 84% of the wealthy, 4% of the poor. Some of these statistics I think are kind of shocking, just because it really does kind of emphasize the difference in mentality of those who are with successful habits, who are successful, who are living those dreams, who are living that life that you want to do, compared to people who aren't. And it's such a drastic change, and that motivated me that, hey, if I want to be in that top small percentage, if I want to be in that top small group of people who are successfully living their life and doing what they want to do, then I'm going to have to incorporate these daily successful habits. And if you don't incorporate any of these, again, it doesn't matter if it's necessarily these, whatever you want to do, whatever your goal, your dream, your ideal life is, will be different from other people. So whatever your habits are will be different from these. But the importance is how many feel it's important to even incorporate these kind of healthy habits, healthy routines to get to where you want to go. Such a high percentage of the wealthy, of those who are living their life, that's the kind of percentage, that's the bracket that you want to be in, that I want to be in. And it's so important that then we develop these habits, we develop these routines, and we do them consistently, and we do them to get to where we want to go, and we don't just not do anything. What did they say, like, failing to plan is planning to fail? So following this, all the successful habits that you want to have, no matter how much you do it, it does add up. For example, if you even did 30 minutes a day for reading a book, or 30 minutes of exercise a day, or 30 minutes of just researching a certain thing, that 30 minutes in a whole week comes to about 3.5 hours. And in a month, it comes to about, I think it was like 14 hours. And then if you do it in a year, it comes to like 168 hours. I could be wrong, maths could be wrong, but it's something like that. And it just gives you all that time. And you kind of think to yourself that actually all that time you're using to commute, which it adds up in a week, in a sort of month, in a year, if you're listening to audiobook, you're getting that much more, whether it be a language sort of audiobook, whether it be an audiobook about a leadership one or a certain topic that you want to do. If you don't have the time, what you're listening to when you're at the gym, what you're listening to when you're doing that commute, what you're listening to in the morning when you hit press play and you're getting ready, all that time, whether it be 30 minutes a day to 3.5 hours in that week, to even 14 hours in that week, and in the month or whatnot, it just adds up so much, and that's extra time that you can have. And that's just 30 minutes a day where it starts from. So before we end this video, I want to leave you with another thought by Aristotle, the great philosopher, who said a great thing. It's a great quote, and I want to read that out right now as well. And he said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And that's an awesome thing as well, because if you want to do something, I sometimes think when I look at other people, I'm like, wow, they're doing such a great thing, that was excellent, that was really good, they must be so talented. But at the same time, it's so reassuring, so good to know that, hey, actually, an action, excellence is not an action, it's not an act, it's not a thing that you do. Excellence is a habit that you do, that you form, and that means anybody can do it. So as usual, again, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys watching this video and kind of joining me every week. And follow me on Instagram, like me on Facebook, and do share this video and subscribe to the channel and share it with anybody next week that you think might be interested, hey, like could maybe watch it or just watch it for whatever reason. Just share it with them as well, and join me next week for another video. I'm being Micah, and you be you.